So I, being like a typical former service guy, felt that I guess it's my obligation to go down and, you know, talk to these guys. So I went down, but being who I am, I got down there and, you know, in the bowels of the Capitol, right in the Capitol, and it was in the basement. I'll never forget it. They were seated all in a big half circle, and I had the chair in the center. And that's where I was put, with this half-circle group of 23 members of the CIA. And I think the first thing that really made me, got my awareness up, was as I looked at them all, they were all your neighbors. I mean, you weren't looking at James Bond here. You know, you went down there with the feeling you were going to walk in and see all these former Navy SEALs and former Delta Force guys who are now out and they're now working in the intelligence community and all this. It was Grandma Jones down the street. It was so-and-so. I mean, they were of all ages.
You knew them?
No, I knew none of them, but these were the 20, yeah, they looked, that's the part I didn't do, Willie, is the fact that when I looked at them, I saw my neighbors. Not actually. What I meant by that, Willie, was I saw my people just like my people you'd never suspect. As these are people in the Central Intelligence Agency. They were of all ages, all colors, all looked like almost the same, different categories of wealth.
What kind of training do you think they had?
I don't know. This was part of it, though. Oh, no, this was part, no, I'm sure they get trained. And actually, I found out this was actually, many of them was part of their training. This was a training exercise that was likewise going on, as well as fact-getting. And so I sat down and I looked at them all, because I wrote about it in my last book, and so I don't mind talking at all about it. I remember I looked at them all, and the first thing I said, before you ask me any questions, I got a few for you that I'd like answered. I said, quid pro quo. You know, if you ask me questions, I get to ask you questions. And I said, my first question is, what are you doing here? And the head guy, they were very formal. They were always governor, sir, very much that way, very respectful. But I remember the head guy looked at me and he said, well, what do you mean, governor? And I said, well, what I mean is that your mission statement says you're not to be operational inside the United States. What are you here for? This is clearly inside the United States. Well, I got hemmed and hawed and didn't really get an answer, you know, double talked and all that. Then I said my second question, I said, I want to go around the room, and I said, I want you to tell me your name and what you do. Half of them wouldn't tell me their names, half of them wouldn't tell me what they did. Who knows if they're really telling you their correct name, no way of knowing. And so I said, well, look, if you're not going to cooperate fully with my questioning, I said, I'm probably going to find it difficult to fully cooperate with yours. It's got to be equal here. So I ended up, and the amazing thing, like I said to Alex, or made mention to him, was that all of their questions dealt about how I won the election. They wanted to know what we did, how we did it, did we think, da-da-da-da. And so when I got done that day, I drove home, and all the way home, I kept thinking, it was on my mind, and I kept thinking, who would I call? Who do I know that could answer these questions for me or help me? And then the name popped up, Dick Marcinko. Do you know what Dick Marcinko is? Well, Richard Marcinko is the author of the Rogue Warrior books. He's a 32-year member of SEAL Team. And Dick created SEAL Team 6, which is the anti-terrorist unit. These are the guys that have hair like you, Willie, and beards, and you'd never suspect they're in the United States Navy. They're deep undercover, you know. And Dick created them. He created Red Cell, and Dick had retired after 32 years. He's a good friend of mine. So I got home and I rang Dick up, and I told him what happened that day. And I says, Dick, I said, you got any idea why the CIA, 23 members, would want to interview me? And Dick starts laughing on the other end, and I said, what's so funny? He said, well, I've been out of it a few years, so he said, I can't directly tell you why. He said, I don't know directly why, but he said, I have an idea. And I said, well, Dick, your idea is going to be better than mine. I said, I had 6 years in the Navy. You had 32. I said, you got a lot more expertise. I said, what's your idea? He said, well, he said, here's what I believe. He said, they didn't see you coming. He said, and then it made sense. He said, their job is to gather intelligence so that they can report that to the government, and the government can then make decisions based on the gathering of that intelligence. He said, clearly they didn't see you coming.
They wanted to know how you did it.
And they wanted to know how you did it. Yeah. And Dick goes, they also wanted to know, are there more of you on the horizon? Is this a trend we're missing? Are we missing something here that could be happening within the United States, like the next election? Are we going to see 4 more independent governors win? Or is Minnesota kind of an isolated incidence here? And when Dick got through saying that to me, I thought he's right on. That's exactly what it was.